Sticky is 28, earns $60,000, has been following the famous 50-30-20 budget rule perfectly for 5 straight years. Last week he opened his bank app. His savings account balance, $412. After 5 years of doing everything right, he did not break the rule. He followed it religiously. The rule broke him, quietly, mathematically, and he had no idea it was happening. Today I will show you exactly why the most famous budget rule in personal finance is silently destroying disciplined savers across the country. I will show you the 3 hidden flaws inside it, the new system that replaces it, and the one number you should be tracking instead. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to do differently starting tonight, and why most finance influencers are still wrong about this. This is Thinking Stick. We do not repeat finance cliches. We test them with real numbers, and when they break, we say so, loudly. Hit subscribe so you do not miss what comes next. Now let me show you exactly what happened to Sticky, and why it is happening to millions. Quick reminder of the rule itself. Spend 50% on needs, 30% on wants, save 20%, simple, clean, famous everywhere online. It was popularized in 2005 by Senator Elizabeth Warren in her book All You're Worth, 20 years ago. A completely different America, different math. Here is what 2005 actually looked like. The median home cost $200,000. The median household earned $46,000. A house was 4 years of income. Today, the median home costs $400,000. The median household earns $75,000. A house is now 5.3 years of income. Brutal jump. Healthcare in 2005 cost about $80 per person monthly. Today, $450, 5 times more. 20 years of quiet, compounding, invisible damage. Childcare in 2005 was $8,000 a year. Today, it's over $20,000 in most cities, more than in-state college tuition in many American states. The 50-30-20 rule was built for a world where needs cost half your income. Today, for most families, needs cost 70 or 80%. That single shift breaks the entire rule, because if needs already eat 80%, there is no math left for 30% of wants. None. But that is just the first flaw. The second one is way more dangerous, because most people never even notice it happening to them. Watch this carefully. The 50-30-20 rule treats everyone identically, regardless of income level. A person earning $40,000 uses the same percentages as someone earning $400,000. That sounds fair. It is actually devastating, because percentages without context become meaningless. Saving 20% of $40,000 is $8,000 a year. Saving 10% of $200,000 is $20,000 a year. Less discipline, 2.5 times more wealth. Same rule, different reality entirely. Wealth is not built by percentages. It is built by surplus. And surplus depends on income minus spending, not on what category your money sits in. This is the third hidden flaw, and honestly the worst one, because it makes you feel like you are winning while you are quietly losing. When you follow 50-30-20, you feel responsible, organized, in control. You check the boxes, you stay disciplined, you do everything right on paper. But organization is not progress. Distribution is not wealth. The rule rewards the appearance of financial health, while the underlying numbers can stay completely flat for years. Sticky did not break his budget. He followed it perfectly. The rule was the trap, not his behavior, and that distinction changes everything. So if the rule is dead, what actually replaces it? This is where most finance videos give you another rigid percentage system. They are wrong too. The real answer is not another rule. It is a completely different lens, because the problem was never which percentages you used. It was using percentages at all. What replaces the 50-30-20 rule is something I call the gap system. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. It changes everything. The gap system has one focus, one number, one question. How much money do you keep at the end of every month? That is your gap. Income minus spending equals gap. That is the entire system. No categories, no percentages, no fake balance, just one brutal, honest, unavoidable number. Here is the deeper truth. Wealth is not created by categories. It is created by gaps. The bigger the gap, the faster your life changes. If your gap is 0, you are stuck forever. If your gap is negative, you are sinking quietly. If your gap is growing, wealth is being built automatically. That is it. The whole system fits in one sentence, and it is more powerful than every 50-30-20 calculator on the internet combined. Now watch what happens when we apply this to Sticky. Same income, same life, same expenses, but measured by gap instead of category percentages. Sticky earns $60,000, take home around $4,000 a month. Under 50-30-20, he should save $800 monthly. Sounds great on paper, but his real rent is $1,400, groceries $500, utilities $200, insurance $350. His real needs already total $2,400, 60% gone. Under the old rules math, he has $1,200 for wants and $800 for savings. But the rule assumed his needs were $2,000. They were not. So Sticky does what every responsible person does. He squeezes wants down, tries to still save the $800. Stress builds. Discipline collapses by month 3. 5 years later, $412 in savings. Not because he failed the rule, because the rule failed to model his actual life. Now apply the gap system instead. Sticky stops thinking in percentages, starts thinking in one number. How much can he keep this month? His gap target becomes simple, $600 every month. No matter how he gets there, no categories, no guilt, no false balance, just the gap. Some months he hits $800, some months he hits $400. The average is $600, which over 5 years compounds into $46,000. Same income, same costs, same person. The 50-30-20 version saved $400 in 5 years. The gap system version saved $46,000. Same Sticky. That is the difference between a system that distributes your money, and a system that grows your wealth. They look similar on paper, they live in different universes, but here is where the gap system gets even more powerful. Because once you start tracking it, your behavior changes automatically, without effort, without willpower. When your only metric is the gap, you stop obsessing over $4 coffees. You start questioning $400 car payments. You stop targeting small, you target big. The 50-30-20 rule trains you to focus on the small. The gap system forces you to focus on the big, and big is where real wealth gets built. Cutting 1 cup of coffee a day saves you $100 a month. Negotiating 1 rent reduction saves you $300. Switching 1 job saves you $1,000. The 50-30-20 rule never tells you to switch jobs. The gap system screams it from the rooftops, because the gap exposes which lever actually moves the needle. Loud financial advice tells you to skip the latte. Honest financial advice tells you to fix the rent. The gap system forces you toward the honest version every time. There is one more thing the gap system does that no percentage rule can. It defeats Parkinson's law automatically, without you even thinking about it. Parkinson's law of money says spending always rises to match income. You get a raise, your lifestyle rises. The bank account stays the same forever and ever. Under 50-30-20, when income rises by 10%, wants automatically rise by 30% of that raise. Lifestyle inflation is literally built into the rule itself. Under the gap system, when income rises, your lifestyle stays locked. The entire raise becomes gap growth, which becomes wealth growth without any new discipline required. The 50-30-20 rule funds your lifestyle with every raise. The gap system funds your future with every raise. Same money, different system, different life. So how do you actually start tonight? Forget the old rule completely. Here are the 4 moves that switch you to the gap system immediately. Move 1. Open your bank app right now. Look at the last 60 days. Add up everything that came in. Add up everything that went out. Subtract. That number, positive or negative, is your real gap right now. Most people have never calculated it. They have been guessing for years. Today, you stop guessing. Move 2. Set one gap target, just one number, the amount you want to keep every month going forward, not a percentage, a specific dollar number. Make it small at first, $300, $500, whatever feels honest. The exact number does not matter as much as having a target you actually hit. Move 3. Automate the gap. The exact day your paycheck lands, auto-transfer your gap target straight into a separate account before you spend a single dollar of it. Most people try to save what is left at the end of the month. The wealthy do the opposite. They take the gap first, then live on what remains. Move 4. Track only the gap. Once a week, 2 minutes, open your bank app, calculate the gap so far. That is the only metric you measure from now on. If this video changed how you think about money, drop one word in the comments below. Gap. And like this video if you are switching to the gap system starting tonight. Keep thinking. Stick.